We're always looking for ways you can take your smart financial habits and turn that into an additional win. And one of the easiest ways is using travel rewards points that you earn from your credit cards. So, first, a caveat is obviously millions and millions of people get in trouble with their credit cards. They spend too much when they have a card. It seems like free money. They rack up interest charges and late fees and hit their credit rating significantly. Obviously, if that's you, credit cards are not going to be the financial tool you want to use right now. You want to get your house in order. You want to pay those off at 20, 25% interest rate. That's a house on fire situation. But for a lot of us who use our credit cards every single month to just pay all of our normal life expenses, and we pay them off on time and in full every single month. That's the key, is on time and in full every single month. Our family, for instance, we've used credit cards for the last 20 years and paid it off on time and in full every month. We use it instead of cash or debit or a check or whatever else people might use to pay for things. And it's just easy. But we would normally get our, let's say, 1% rewards. And that might be cash back. So at the end of the year, maybe we'd get a couple $100 if we were lucky. Then we found the world of travel rewards. You hear people talk about frequent flyer miles and hotel points, and a lot of people get those from traveling. People who are consultants and stay in hotels 100 nights a year and travel the world, that kind of thing, they get millions of points. But for the rest of us, one of the easiest ways to stockpile significant amounts of rewards points and miles is through credit card sign-up bonuses. You'll see something like, sign up for this credit card and earn 50,000 miles when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. That's a pretty standard sign-up offer. So 50,000 miles, which is fantastic, for spending 3,000 in the first 3 months. That's the minimum spend requirement, they call it. And basically that's saying, all right, I'm going to put $1,000 of my normal expenses on this credit card, those 3 months. And once I hit that cumulative 3,000, then I get that sign-up bonus at the end of that statement. All right. So it doesn't mean you have to spend 3,000 in 1 month. It doesn't mean you have to hold that $3,000 as a balance. You're paying it off month 1 and month 2, how much ever you owe at each statement. But once you hit that cumulative amount, it triggers that bonus. Now, we like to think you can probably get about 2 cents per mile. That's a very rough rule of thumb, and it's not always true. But let's say in the background, we'll say 2 cents per mile. So I think you should be able to turn 50,000 miles into about $1,000. So 50,000 times 0.02 is $1,000, right? That's from $3,000 of your normal spending. You can get $1,000. That winds up being like $1,000 rebate, a 33% rebate on that $3,000 that you spent. So it's amazing when you're able to put a few of those bonuses together and what you can really get. You could theoretically put an entire year's worth of spending on new cards and get a 20 to 40% rebate or discount, however you want to look at it, on all of your life spending. That can really be transformative. And the cool thing, if you have, let's say, 2 adults, spouses, whatever, in the household, each of you can open every single one of these credit cards. There are probably 20 credit cards that we would say are elite level travel rewards cards. And if each of you can open those cards, you're talking potentially 40 cards to get these sign-up bonuses from. Now, obviously, I'm not advocating opening them all at once or doing anything crazy like that. I'm just saying over the next 5 to 10 years, there are all of these cards, and the credit card companies are constantly coming out with new offers, new cards, new card types, all these things. So that just adds to that universe. So now, of course, the credit card companies are smart and they limit the amount of cards that you can open. Chase Bank especially does this. But with a very responsible and level-headed strategy over many years, you can get a significant amount of money back instead of just that 1% or maybe 1.5 or 2% that all of us are used to getting in terms of cash back. So you can see why this is such a big potential upside. And we have a significant amount of resources on travel rewards. If you go to choosefi.com/travel, and that'll take you to our main page. We have a bunch of podcasts on this. We have a travel course. We list our favorite credit cards. The cool thing is you can travel for nearly free doing this. Again, with your just responsible credit card habits. So my family, we took our family of 4 down to Disney World, and I think we paid about $100 to $150 out of pocket for the hotel, the flights, and the park tickets. And now that didn't happen over, like this was a year to a year and a half of planning, but we saved more than $4,000 just by being smart and thinking long term, which is another one of the 5 fundamentals. It's, can you think long term, or do you just need immediate gratification? If you need immediate gratification, you're going to spend $4,000 to $5,000. If you can think long term and plan ahead, you can do it for pennies. And my wife and I have taken a trip, stayed in a beautiful suite at the Fairmont in Bermuda. We've been to Ireland and England and Hawaii, all on points predominantly. And that's the cool thing, is there's flexibility. You can do part of your trip on points. If you're going to take a trip to Hawaii anyway, and you can get the rental car for free or the flights, but you're still going to pay for your Airbnb, then okay, so be it. You still save money. That's the cool thing about this. It's not a 0 or 1. It's not free or paying full amount. It's, you can add any amount of flexibility into it. So it's really a very significant strategy for people on the FI path who are responsible with their credit cards. So again, choosefi.com/travel.